Hi, this is Rick's Fix, and what we've got here is a 1940s, 1950s toy grand piano. Now, when I bought it, it was working to some extent, but I have to fess up that I undid these two screws thinking that I could get into it because there's a couple of keys up here which weren't quite working. But it turns out that they actually attach the comb of tines which is inside this, and now that's dropped down inside, and obviously none of it's working now, so I am somewhat forced to fix it, even if I wasn't before. But so if I just take those screws out, the difficulty here will be that there's no screws. Oh dear, we've only got these staples. So I'm going to have to get in there with my palette knife and see if I can just force them up a little bit and without doing too much damage. But as I say, I am not in a situation to do anything better because it doesn't work at all. So let's have a go at that and see what it's like inside. Hopefully the fix won't be too difficult. Okay, so the equipment here is oopsie daisy, lots of flat stuff. I can hopefully just get in there and prise open the staples. Ah, that looks like success. Ooh, to some degree. Right, so let's look at what we've got. So I've put the keys back in, and you can see that each of the keys actuates the hammer at the top. The hammers the arms of the hammers are made out of cardboard, and not surprisingly, where the key strikes the back of the arm, they've all got damage there and they've bent back a bit. None of them looks in a terminal state, but I don't think they're going to last forever. But you know, this is what it is. It's a toy piano. It's no Bechstein. So the only issue we're having is here on the B and the C and the C sharp. The hammers are just slightly leaning over to the right hand side, and I don't think there's a great deal I can do to pull them back because the cardboard is not entirely stable there. I think the only thing I can do is to nudge these keys slightly towards this side so that they are by and large just striking the one hammer each. But what I'm going to do is I'll just lift these out, lift the keys out. 1, 2, see that again, there we go, 3, and I'm just going to slightly persuade the metal comb towards the left on the bottom, slightly towards the right on the top, just so that those keys are just tending towards where the hammer positions are. It's not wanting to go in. That might be a danger in what I've done. Ah, it's the wrong key, that's why. There we go. Thought I'd overbent it. There we go. So they are all just striking the one hammer. As I say, I think that should work. Now here's the comb. Now it will go and rest in a position somewhat like that. We'll just see if we can line it up. think that sounds pretty good. I might try and just persuade a couple of the tines back a little. The worst thing in the world would be to snap one off, because we've got no hope of getting them back. Just having a continuing problem with this B. It's just slightly firing to the right. Not sure what I can do about that. I can persuade it over, but the more I persuade it, the more likely I am to do some damage. I'm tempted to maybe just pull the tine over slightly so it's more in the firing line, but I don't like doing that. Well, I think that's probably about as good as this is going to get, and I think it will ring a little bit more when the comb is fully attached to the inside of the piano. So I think the next thing to do is to fix it all back up together. It's back together now, and I've not fully pushed the staples back in, and I think what I might do is I might take the staples out and put some self-tapping screws in if the wood will allow. But I mean, I've got the unit all back together, and I'm actually surprised by how much better the sound of the tines is now that they've been fully bolted into the instrument. So by comparison, here's what it sounds like now. That's the fix of my 1950s toy grand piano, and I'm rather pleased with that. It's not really got a bad sound.